Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Appalachian Prospecting. Hey, today we're going to be showing you something that I whipped up to make some good lumber on this hud-son mill, because I told you how well I hate these fucking log grabbers. Okay, look at this one. Cracked. Right there. Here, let me get down there. Cracked. Okay. So, when you're trying to put lumber in here, meaning going this way with the lumber. So, we'll get over here. Take this, okay? So, meaning you're going to cut this lumber up. So, when you put this on that grabber, and you put it against the bar, back here, that little yellow thing right here, all right? That's the bar. That holds it. The whole thing will cock like this. All right, so when you try to run the band mill down, all of your lumber will cock off to the side. There's nothing straight and flat. Well, guess what? I made a clamp. Now what this clamp does, this particular one is designed for up there. That's why I put the two holes in it, so I can identify where it goes. So this guy is going to go up there, all right? And it's going to set right down into the groove between these two areas right here. This one, that one. All right? So that sits right down in there. And now you have from this point over to here. Let me turn that around. I think I got it backwards. Okay? Now you have a flat edge. That right there. Screw it back in. Put your lumber right in there. Stand it up straight. Bring the band mill down, and it'll cut a perfect board for you because you got them tight. This has been a complaint of mine on every video. Oh, another thing I want to talk about today real quick is when you have one of these setups, you really want to make sure that during the winter time you pay attention to what's going on. I ended up starting to saw some really shitty lumber, and I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I'm putting them into cants, or whatever you want to call them, beams. And then what I do is I measure the width of what I need for a board, and I'll saw them. I'll just bring them right back up here, and I'll saw them down. This is why I don't saw my boards right off the bat. I make them into these big 6x6s, 4x4s, and I store them down there at the other end of the property, way down there. And we stock them up and let them air dry. But whenever I need boards, I just cut them to my width, because of course I got a little farm taking care of that. Remember, this is Lost Mine Ranch. So not really happy with them log grabs, but every time I tried to put lumber on here, you know, it looks good over here because you got this flat thing that looks like it's perfect to put the lumber against, but it really isn't. You come over here and slide that over and lock that dog down, every bit of that lumber is going to cock this way. And it's horrible. I was getting a little frustrated. But this is what happened. Over here, all right, is the end of the track. Track comes right to an end. Last year, I put cribbing underneath there, which is this, underneath here. Okay? I have a jack right there, so I could jack this track up at any time, because I knew we were coming into winter, and at any time it can change your track. Well, I guess it did. Right underneath this lovely snow pile is a pile of slabs. So over here was where this was all set up, kind of like this, but over here. The slab slid in and knocked that whole jack system over, okay? And I didn't see it because it was full of sawdust and shit like that. So I was thinking, I was walking in one day and I looked at this, I'm like, man, that lower track looks funny. And then my carriage started getting lopsided, started coming down the track going thump, thump, like this. I'm like, whoa. I put a level on here and I'm like, oh my God. So You know, a bit of advice for everybody that has their own little sawmill set up. Make sure you check its levelness, and if somehow you can have something to level it up, thank God I was able to dig that out of there. Of course, we've had a couple storms since then. And put it over here, jacked it up, got everything nice and straight. This thing cuts fucking perfectly. So, you know, as long as you got a nice straight track, everything run good. I'm very happy with it. Very unhappy about them log dogs. I wish they did something else. But these little systems right here, one goes up there, one goes down here. Put your lumber in there. It acts just like a vise. It just does this. Squeeze. Keeps them nice flat. And you start getting pretty darn nice lumber. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is in one of my earlier videos, we talked about an A-frame build for cabins. I build micro cabins. I built a few of them throughout my life. And I'm actually going to do this so people can see me build that A-frame right from scratch. I mean, here's the log right here. The next time you see this log, it'll be sliced up into parts for the new A-frame cabin. So I hope everybody enjoys my little channel here. It is a smorgasbord. I do have the little Bigfoot sequence, episodes that are aired. I go from gold prospecting up to sawn lumber, to working on little mini excavators, to working on dirt bikes. So our channel is more of a smorgasbord. So if you don't like a smorgasbord, keep scrolling. Other than that, I hope everybody stays safe and please stay warm. I'm sick of this cold weather. We're hoping that everything gets warm so we can get building on the cabin soon. Stay safe. So anyways, after a little while, when you're done fidgeting with it, you can kind of see what these clamps are doing now. Okay, they're holding the lumber right tight against it. Okay, you put the two little spacers in if you need them. Most of us would have enough boards, you know, to go across there and fill that up. Don't get upset. You have to pay attention, because now what's going to happen is if this nut is out too far, this is why I have that painted yellow. If it's out too far past that yellow, it's going to hit the carriage. Okay, it's going to pop that right there. So these are 2x6s that I made. They come out awesome. Can't be any happier with the way that this works now. You can see that there's room for, you know, at least a couple more boards. But if you also had a bunch of 3/4 inch boards, now look at how many you can do at one time. Okay? Even though it's skinny, you know, we don't need the rush, but you can put quite a few boards in there at one time to make that clamp across. So what I've done is these are the 2x6s. These are going to be on the outer part of the box, which would be the subfloor. I'm going to go all the way around the outside. That's a flooring frame. Okay. So I already have the 2x12s made up over there. I've already done them. They're behind that mess over there. And then today I did some 2x4s. Now, another thing I want to talk about with this little Hunter. I'm sorry about the traffic, guys. Anyways, this little Hunter sawmill, if that blade, any way, shape, or form gets dull, your wood is going to look like you're riding a wave in Hawaii. It's going to go porpoise, just like this, okay? Now, you can see that it makes really good wood. But last night I was sawing a log and I saw a pebble that was stuck up underneath some bark. It was like stuck up. And I thought it was an ice ball. It was not. It was a pebble. I sawed it right in half and it came right over here. Oh my God. As soon as that happened, I want to show you guys if I can get through this without dying. I want to show you guys what'll happen. That way you know when you're sawing lumber. Okay, this one isn't too bad. Yeah, there it is. So we're going to follow it right up nice and slow, and you're going to see how you'll get a wave in it right here. Okay, there's one right here. Okay, so what happens is you start to get a wave. The board is usable. It just kind of looks stupid when you're looking down it. I mean, so when they get dull, change out the blades, because that is a major, major issue with these. And when that wave starts, you know automatically it's time. And when I hit that rock, it destroyed that blade. Lesson number 2 with the saw. Do not keep your blades on the ground. I bought a case of the blades, had them come to me. I brought them out. I sat them on that white. Well, it's kind of buried in the snow right now, right there. Whoop, set it on top. Forgot about it, didn't care. All summer, the rain, whatnot, got on it. All right. That's what happened to them. That's a no-no. I polished them. They will work, but that's really stupid. This is what they look like when they're brandy new. Okay. What happens is that rust will cake up on the first cut. And automatically it's iron against iron. And it dulls them pretty fast. But I have found if you take a little bit of sandpaper and just go over it real quick and clean up just the teeth, be very careful because you'll cut yourself. I can reuse them blades, but that is a no-no. Don't keep your blades anywhere on the ground or anywhere where moisture can get at them. That's a big no-no. Got the track nice and straight. Made some beautiful 2x6s. I hope everybody's enjoying the channel. This is, I guess what you want to call this, a little bit of part 1 of the build. So we got the 12 footers underneath the snow over there. They're right there. Poop, poop. So we're ready to put the frame, or at least the outer box together, which will end up looking kind of like this. Okay. We got 9, so it's going to be a 9x12 camp. And it's going to be a semi A-frame. We're not going to do the traditional A-frame in this build. I kind of looked at it a little better, and I'm actually going to do one that looks like this. So the cabin's going to come down a little bit, come all the way down like this, okay, and a small here. And what'll happen is, just like this, we'll have a little door in here, okay, a couple of round windows, one on top, one over here. And there'll be a little chimney coming out, because I'm going to show you this really cool build of a wood stove I'm going to do for this place. So that's what it's going to kind of look like. I'm no Da Vinci, but I'll try to give you a 3D look. What it's going to look like, hopefully. Okay, so that's kind of what it's going to look like, that style. And then, as the summer goes on, I will build the traditional A-frame, and that will be for children to go into and stay while they're here. But mom and dad need a little more room in the cabin. And these kind of cabins were kind of what the miners built. They were kind of simple. They were more straight down like this. But I wanted that headroom because these are micro cabins, remember? I'm not building a Taj Mahal. So the traditional A-frame probably will be our second build, but this is the one we're going to do first. So just to give you a quick update. So if you want to call this episode 1 of the cabin build, well, here you go. I'll be sawing some more of these out, getting them ready. I'd like to do the whole cross member at once. All 16 on center, right down through. Then I'll be ready for my floor planking. So, pretty excited. I hope you guys enjoy and come along for the ride. It should be fun learning how to cut all this stuff up. Learning how to get stuff straight and level. And making damn good lumber like this. You got to make little modifications, but it's not the end of the world. This didn't take me very long. This was just a little redneck ingenuity, and it works perfect. I mean, I can easily, even if I had thin boards, I could probably put 8 in there and then clamp it. I probably will weld a foot onto this just so it's a little bit wider. Probably a big washer I'll get. That should work perfect, actually. So see that? We just found room for improvement. So don't think when you get wavy lumber that I'm doing something wrong, or your first time you're a little off square, or it looks cockeyed or whatever. Don't get upset. take your time and understand what's going on. Remember, in one of the last videos, I talked about this track. Big problem right there. So come overcome the obstacles, and you guys will saw great lumber. So episode 1 of the A-frame build, out. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's how we help us build. Like I said, enjoy it. Have a good night.